What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, long before the announcement and confirmation of the Eyes of Wakanda animated series that's coming next year, that some reports have put the budget around $20 million, and industry insiders have indicated may only be 4 episodes. Long before we heard about that, there were rumors of a live-action TV series revolving around Wakanda headed to Disney Plus under the Marvel Studios banner. Now, at the time of those reports in early 2022, they made sense because they came nearly a year after when it was reported in 2021 that, quote, Ryan Coogler inked a huge deal with Disney TV for a Wakanda series that was in the works. As Revolt went on to report, quote, Black Panther director Ryan Coogler has inked a 5-year deal with Disney that would include a Wakanda-inspired series for Disney Plus. On Monday, February 1st, 2021, the company announced that Coogler will create a show that is set in Wakanda, the imaginary African country that is home to Black Panther and his people. He will also devise television programs for several other divisions within Disney. Now, admittedly, this was post-pandemic in the early days, but still, a lot has happened in the industry and at Disney and Marvel since this deal was inked. Bob Iger returned to completely switch up how Marvel Studios was labeling and putting out content, and as it pertains to Marvel Studios, they now have a whole new division called Marvel Television. They also completely changed their strategy for how they were writing and releasing shows, and on top of that, there was a huge writers and actors strike to boot. So, when they announced and confirmed the Eyes of Wakanda animated series, I don't think you really could fault anybody for assuming this must have been the series that was mentioned in that earlier article. And of course, there's ample footage of Ryan Coogler himself live from the D23 event and after the presentation using phrases like "our director" when referring to what he was excited about for this animated series, definitely confirming his involvement. But when you hear the name Ryan Coogler, you assume that he's going to be writing and or directing, and that probably would be withheld for a live action series, which it appears is now in development. According to one trusted industry insider, we're going to talk about what he exactly said in the report. He even attached a title to this series, and then because of the timeline for the show, how Marvel is doing things now, the likely release for this, and what it would mean for the plot. There are still 2 major characters, one in terms of a hero, the other in terms of a villain, that have a lot to do with Wakanda, and again, depending on the timeline for the release of the show, may impact heavily what the plot is going to be. We're going to break it all down, this latest report that there is a live-action Wakanda series in development for Disney Plus. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we do daily Marvel content at the channel. That's all we do, so if you're into that kind of thing, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. That automatically enters you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. Stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so this latest update actually came from trusted industry insider Daniel Rickman. If you guys aren't familiar with the news cycle or the rumor mill, he's probably the most trusted source in the game, and even so much so now, he has places like The Hollywood Reporter and Deadline re-reporting off his news. He broke the news of this live-action Wakanda series earlier this week when he said this, quote, a live-action Wakanda show is still in development and the current title is World of Wakanda. Now, even though the update is limited and the title is obviously probably far too ambiguous with World of Wakanda to do any real inference for the plot, there's actually a ton to go on. Notice that he says that the show is still in development because this was originally rumored to be surrounding Okoye and her story after what happened during the events of Wakanda Forever, and it seems like that was canceled, or at least they went away from that idea. So the fact that it's still in development means that they're probably changing course with what the main plot of the show is. We're going to talk about that in just a second. The other important thing to note is that Eyes of Wakanda, the animated series, is set all the way in the ancient times of the MCU as Wakanda defend themselves from the Horde. So outside of Easter eggs, there's probably very little to do with the current day dealings. That's what this show, The World of Wakanda, will most likely focus on. What's going on with Wakanda in the world right now, where we now have the introduction of adamantium and warring factions all over the world for resources. The other important thing to note is that because Marvel Studios have changed the way that they are doing show development, now with showrunners, shooting pilots, the traditional way of shooting a TV show, the timetable for this is much longer. They are not just launching into production, going immediately to filming, writing it on set, and then when it's done, just releasing whatever they have left of a TV show. We saw where that left them with things like She-Hulk and especially Echo, where after they did cuts, they only had so many episodes and ended up just dropping it all at once with the best of what they could. There's a process to this that has handled traditional television for a while. Lots of studios, including HBO, all follow this process, and so I wouldn't expect the show to be released during the Multiverse Saga. This is something that's maybe 2 or 3 years out. Now, the reason I bring this up is it has a lot to do with the current landscape of the MCU on what things will look like during the Multiverse Saga and after. Obviously, if World of Wakanda comes out before Avengers Secret Wars, we may be in the middle of Battle World, and because Dr. Doom has a unique tie to Wakanda with how many times he's definitely invaded and taken over, and his battles against Black Panther, you would assume that would also tie to the main part of the plot in developing Dr. Doom. A live-action TV series would be a great place to explore some of that nuance. But because of the timeline for this, and knowing that they are not delaying Avengers Secret Wars, at least not as of now, from its 2027 release date, I believe that this show would come out sometime after that, and perhaps explore Wakanda's new place in the MCU landscape in the middle of the Mutant Saga. Hopefully by that time, we would be getting to the point where T'Challa's son, the next hopeful Black Panther after Shuri, would be coming of age in order for him to take the mantle. Now, this is all super interesting because it was pretty clear that T'Challa and Black Panther were Marvel's plan for the main point of view character in lieu of not having a Captain America and an Iron Man for most of the Multiverse Saga. Because if you guys know anything about 2015 Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars run, it would have been Black Panther that would have been the main character who ended up defeating Dr. Doom. Obviously, they're going to shift that to somebody else and change the storyline, maybe even quite a bit from what they did with Jonathan Hickman's run. But in the meantime, developing a Black Panther for the future of the MCU and in the Multiverse Saga maybe is something there's not room for. Rather, leave Shuri with the mantle, and for now through Secret Wars, then we get the next T'Challa's son as Black Panther, taking over the mantle from his aunt, going into the Mutant Saga, where, you know, there still could be plenty of time to develop Dr. Doom versus Black Panther. That's if he's not defeated at the end of the Multiverse Saga. Definitely a topic for a different video, but man, it's like, how do you defeat him in Secret Wars and then bring him back? And does that really only mean we're going to get Dr. Doom in the MCU for only 3 years, and then he's not going to be in the future of the MCU? So many questions still left to ask. You guys let me know all your thoughts down below, what you'd most want to see out of a live-action Wakanda series on Disney+, which characters they should focus on. I'm all ears as always. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Alright, still giving away PlayStation 5s here at the channel. Just going to do that until the PS5 Pro or the PS6 comes out. Who knows when that'll be. The next one is actually next month with Agatha All Along. For any of the future giveaways or our PS5 giveaway, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber. Then leave a comment down below, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. Best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places: Instagram and Twitter at @ImFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name All Fires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.